Now to the West Coast, where we saw that cruise ship dock before in the port of Oakland. 2,400 passengers and 1,100 crew members who need testing after at least 21 people on board tested positive for the virus. But so far, only 46 have been tested. Now, with passengers heading to 4 different U.S. military bases on charter flights for quarantine, some passengers are able to leave now, but others have to potentially wait 2 or 3 days to pass the time. Some residents have been finding ways to stay sane and keep fit, dancing and exercising in the room to pass time. We're going to talk to some of those passengers live in a moment. But first, our chief national correspondent Matt Gutman has the latest.
After being barred from coming to shore and circling off the California coast for days, the Grand Princess today finally slipping under the Golden Gate Bridge and into San Francisco's harbor to dock in the city of Oakland. Some of the 3,500 people on board watching from their balconies. One passenger waving a white flag as that colossal public health operation unfolded below.
More tents and ambulances lined up.
2 passengers and 19 crew testing positive for the virus. Ambulances rushing the sick to the hospital. The captain explaining to those on board just how it would work.
Priority disembarkation today will be given to guests with more urgent medical needs.
I'm gonna cry. Wow, it's so nice to find out that we're finally getting off the boat.
Asha Burgess and her boyfriend, who are traveling with their parents, dreading that quarantine.
We're really concerned we're going to get separated and quarantined away from each other.
Waiting for them, buses and planes to whisk those American passengers to 4 military bases in California, Texas, and Georgia, where they will all be tested for the virus. Just days ago, the president suggesting he wanted the passengers to stay on board.
I'd rather have the people stay, but I like the numbers being where they are. I don't need to have the numbers double because of one ship.
President Trump has said that he would prefer if none of the passengers aboard these cruises landed on U.S. soil. Did he mention any of that to you?
I had a private conversation with him, and he said everything that I could have hoped for. And every single thing he said, they followed through on.
The State Department now urging Americans, especially those with underlying health conditions, to avoid cruise ships.
No large crowds, no long trips, and above all, don't get on a cruise ship.
And the CDC still holding another cruise ship at sea off the Cayman Islands. 2 crew members on the Caribbean Princess had worked on the Grand Princess earlier and are now being tested.
And Matt Gutman joins us now live. Matt, what are the next steps here?
Well, first, they're just going to try to get people off this ship, Lindsay. And according to government and Carnival Cruise officials, we hear that the first people have gotten off, and those are the people who have tested positive for coronavirus, plus 2 companions. So that's 23 people. Right now, they're getting ready to take all of the Canadian passengers off board. In addition to that, over the coming days, they're going to get Californians. They're going to go to Air Force Base, Travis, not far from here. And then people from other states will be sent to military bases really across the country in Georgia and in Texas. It is an incredibly complicated logistical effort, which they hope will be completed at some point on Wednesday, Lindsay.
Yeah, very complex indeed. Matt Gutman, thanks for that live report. For many of the passengers on board the ship, it's already been quite an ordeal. Thousands await their fate on shore if they've been infected after potentially being exposed in the roller coaster of emotions. Here's one of the highs. The moment passengers found out the ship, which was circling 10 miles off the coast, was finally going to dock.
I brought this ukulele for the ukulele classes. Oh,
Well, very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking from the bridge with another important update. I now have been told the high-level plan for the next few days. As part of our ongoing coordination with federal, state and local authorities, an agreement has been reached to bring our ship into the port of Oakland tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Amazing. The A-OK sign, a moment of relief. And joining us now is the woman from that video, Michelle Heckert, who was on the cruise with her grandparents. Michelle, thank you so much for joining us, and your grandparents too. So take us back to that moment of relief when you first found out that the ship was infected. What happened from there?
Finding out that the ship was infected, it was a little bit disappointing, obviously. I know there had been some complications with some cruise ships prior to us boarding, but we figured that we would be able to be safe just by practicing good hygiene and everything, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. But in that video that you just showed, it was really, really nice to hear that there was kind of this light at the end of the tunnel, that we were going to be able to dock in Oakland, which is close enough to us, and just feel like we're actually getting closer to home.
And we've heard the captain deliver some announcements, but have you been updated often by the crew, and what kind of flow of information, how has that been happening?
Yeah, the captain does come on air multiple times a day, and he'll let us know like when he plans on next updating us, and tries to make all the information readily available for us on our stateroom TVs, as well as handing out papers to each of the staterooms. And really, I think he tries to make sure that we're having the most up-to-date or most truthful information, so as not to have any miscommunication between what we're hearing in the media versus what we're hearing from the ship.
It looked like we saw some video a moment ago of your grandfather perhaps doing some singing. So what have you guys been doing to pass the time? And also, how concerned are you about your grandparents?
I'm not super concerned about my grandparents at the moment, because they have such, a good attitude, and they're really hanging in there and taking care of themselves. And I know they are of that age that people will think they're more susceptible, which is, a little bit concerning. But I think that they're doing a really good job of staying positive. And, they do the Zumba and Tai Chi, and then they sing along with me, and I play ukulele, and we watch a bunch of movies and TV. We just try to keep ourselves occupied as best we can.
And as far as you know, you're just waiting to find out how long you need to stay on board. Is that right?
Right. We expect it to be fairly soon. I don't think it will be today, but I'm hoping it'll be tomorrow. We're very excited just to be able to see land and see home.
Fingers crossed to you, Michelle. Thank you and your grandparents for talking with us. Our best to the entire family. We'll be sure to check in to see how you guys are doing in the coming days.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.